Tenga buena clase, maestra. Esta es la última, porque la próxima semana, jueves y viernes, no hay clases.
Porque espérame.
Sí,
No,
esta
pues
es la última.
Si
A ver.
extra maestra, me avisa.
Ah, ok. Un momento.
sí. Ándale, pues ya está. Yo entro a las 7.
Ok. Listo, César.
I also have one other question.
Ok, maestra, la dejo con la grabación.
Sí, por favor.
Hasta luego.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Well, I'm glad to be here with you. I hope some of you join me in a couple of minutes. I hope to see you. This is our last class, and we are looking at the last units, okay, and at the last topics. We're reviewing them, and then, I'm going to give you a couple of homework, a couple of assignments, and then that's it. So let me start sharing. Yesterday we saw unit 14. Today we're going to be seeing unit 15 and unit 16, okay? So I'm going to start sharing my screen. All right. And let's start. So this is our quote of the day. It always seems impossible until it is done. I'm going to turn off my camera, okay? Make sure that my technology, I think my technology works better without my camera. So I like to turn it off and make sure that I don't have any problems. So it says, it always seems impossible until it is done, by Nelson Mandela. Oh, very inspiring. Siempre parece imposible hasta que se logre. Okay. So I don't know about you, but I like to hear like inspirational quotes to help us keep going during the day. I know we're very busy. We're working, we have families, and we're studying. So when things seem a little bit hard, a little bit challenging, just remember everything's possible. And once you get it, you're going to feel really good about whatever you're doing. Okay. All right. So let's start. Okay. I'm going to be talking about exclamatory sentences. Okay. And what is exclamatory sentence? Let me just tell you a little bit. In Spanish, it's oraciones con exclamación. That means it's a sentence that expresses a strong emotion, and you end it with a a special symbol, right? With a symbol that indicates that you're excited, that there's a strong emotion behind it. For example, with an exclamation mark. That's the word I was looking for, with an exclamation mark. For example, the first person, he says, I'm free. It seems like by the uniform, what he has and he's wearing, I think he was in jail. So I think he's very happy because he's out of jail and he's free. So if you notice, that's why it's called exclamatory sentence, because you add an exclamation mark just to show that you feel really strongly about it, okay? Another one is, I treasure you, okay? So what is treasure? Treasure in Spanish means tesoro, but it could also be used as a verb, like this one. And it could mean like, I treasure you, like, yo te valoro, right? But so it could be, I treasure you, and then you have the exclamation mark, okay? And then you could use it to express surprise. Like, take a look at this person. She looks like surprised, like she can't believe it. Because look at her, what she's saying. She says, she actually won. And then, like, she can't believe it. Look at her eyes, they're surprised, and her mouth is open. So she's expressing surprise. She actually won. And then the last one, you can also say it to express anger, like, you're late again. Okay. And just look at her face. She's really mad. She's mad because she was waiting for somebody, maybe. Yeah, well, she was waiting that because when they're talking about late, it means time. So she's mad because somebody came in late. You're late again. So expresses anger. So whenever you want to express a stronger emotion, you can add the exclamation mark. We do the same thing in Spanish. When we use add the exclamation mark in Spanish, it means a strong emotion. Lo mismo en español. Una exclamación representa una emoción fuerte, so strong emotion. So that's one way of using it. Another way of using it is, okay, you could use it with an exclamatory sentence, okay? Like, what a gorgeous room it is, okay? And you're saying that the room is beautiful. But notice, when you use what, it's not to make a question. Usually when you see the WH, you think they're for questions. But in this case, you are using them for exclamatory sentences, okay? So first you use the what, and then you use the noun phrase, then you use the pronoun, and then the verb, okay? Because if we were to make a sentence, we would say, what are you doing? What? And then followed by the verb, and then the pronoun, and then the phrase. But here it's the opposite. What a gorgeous room it is. Okay? So it's like different, something to pay attention to, okay? The next one, it says, what a beautiful girl you are. Okay? What a beautiful girl you are. All right, that's now I'm sure beautiful, you know what it is, which is como bonita, bella. And gorgeous, gorgeous is kind of like the same. Algo así como muy bonito, like, but really, really nice. Okay, room. Let's continue with the third one. It says, what a lovely dog he has. Okay, what a lovely dog he has. So notice what, and then the noun phrase, and then the pronoun, and then the verb. And in Spanish, if we were to say that, you would say, qué hermoso perro tiene. Okay, notice you also use que, which is what. Que, you use it for a question like, ¿qué es eso? Right, like a question. But if you say, qué hermoso perro tiene, it's the same. You're using the what, the que, at the beginning, and then the noun phrase, and then the qué hermoso perro tú tienes, the pronoun, and then the verb. It's even the exact same order, okay? The next one, it says, what beautiful weather it is. What beautiful weather it is. Now, I don't know about you, but like exclamatory sentences, or for example, for me, I use them a lot. I use them a lot because sometimes you have a lot to say of it. You want to tell people, hey, what a nice person. Oh, what a great job you have done, something like that. So this is pretty popular, and it's good to know, and it's good to use, okay? So let's continue a little bit more. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to write, we already saw at the beginning that they can express surprise, anger, excitement, or joy. So let's think about these couple of sentences, and then let's see what they are expressing. Like the first one, not the first one, it's number 2. It's share with your sister. Okay. What do you think? Is it surprise? Is it anger? Is it excitement? Is it joy? I think it sounds like a mom that's telling the daughter, una mamá que le dice a su hija, share with your sister. She's kind of being like what we call in Spanish regañada, or she's being told you need to share with your sister. I would say it could be anger, okay? So she's kind of like share with your sister, saying it with emotion. Number three, it says, I like cookies with green icing. Okay, so I'm thinking since she likes something, it could be joy. She likes it. Joy. Okay, so we're looking at number three, joy. Let's do the next one. The next one says, you did a great job. So you did a great job. That could be excitement. Okay. It could, I think three or four could be interchanged. I mean, I think three or four could be excitement or joy, and four could also be excitement or joy. And then number five, the dress in that shop look beautiful. Now, take a look. Don't trust everything that you see because sometimes there are mistakes even in the internet. The dress in that shop, dress and look is a verb. It's with an S. The dress in that shop looks with an S beautiful. Okay, so they're missing an S. That's not correct. And I'm thinking that could also be excitement or joy, maybe even surprise. Maybe she didn't think it was that beautiful. Maybe she could be surprised. She didn't expect such a beautiful dress in that shop. So let's do the number six. It says, rewrite the statement to make an exclamatory sentence. Use the correct punctuation mark. It says, go to bed early. Rewrite the statement to make an exclamatory sentence. Let's see. We say, how early do you go to bed? Could be. You don't only use what for exclamatory sentence. You could also do like how. How amazing is that? Okay, it could be that. So, or it could just be go to bed early, like the top one. And then that would be like anger. Anger that you're expressing. Okay. So these are a couple of exclamatory sentences, and these are very common. Like I told you, I use them a lot. I use them a lot because they help you express something that express a strong emotion. I really like them to express something that I like, especially to my students and to people who work with me. I like to tell them, stuff about their work. So I say, what a great paper that you wrote. That could even be part of your feedback when you look at it, okay? So just beware. All right. Hold on. I'm going to the next. And let me close out this Zoom. I've got a lot of stuff here, so I'm going to be sure I close it up. I'm going to stop presenting because I want to make sure that I'm presenting with the sound. I want to make sure that you can hear the video, okay?
Regular verbs. We use the verb.
All right, so one of the last tenses that we will be looking at is the present perfect, okay? And these are videos that I have shown you. I really like these videos. I like the way they are organized. I like the visuals. I like the explanation. So I hope that you like them too. Okay. So one of the last 10, like I said, is the present perfect. Let's hear a little bit. Let's hear for a couple of minutes this video.
ESL Library. Present perfect. What are verb tenses? Verb tenses show if an action takes place in the past, present, or future. The present perfect is a verb tense. We use the present perfect tense for two reasons. The present perfect can show a finished past action. It doesn't show when this action took place. For example, I have been to Australia. The present perfect can also show a continuing action. It shows an action that started in the past and continues to the present. This action might continue into the future too. For example, I have lived in Toronto for 2 years. The present perfect is formed with the auxiliary verb have and the past participle form of the main verb. Have changes forms depending on the subject. I have finished my homework. She has worked at this office for 12 years. My friends have seen that movie. With regular verbs, we use the verb plus ed to form the past participle. For example, the past participle of the verb walk is walked. With irregular verbs, the past participle changes into a different form. We do not use ed. For example, the past participle of the verb eat is eaten. Here are some examples of irregular verbs in their base form, past form, and past participle form. Listen and repeat. Be, was or were, been. Do, did, done. Drink, drank, drunk. Eat, ate, eaten. Go, went, gone. Have, had, had. Run, ran, run. Say, said, said. Sleep, slept, slept. Write, wrote, written. He has eaten breakfast. We have had a dog for 8 years. My best friend has moved to another city. Look at the picture and say or write a present perfect sentence. For example, I have lived in Australia all my life. Now you try.
I have had a dog for 5 years. Oh, he has had a dog for 5 years. Yeah, I used I. We have moved to another country. He has been to Toronto. They have eaten an entire pizza. the student had finished the test.
Thanks for watching.
A little bit of practice on that. I just like to put in little videos, you know. It always helps to see it in different ways, not just one way. And if you repeat it a couple of times, that's a good idea as well. Let me move it because something's going on. Okay. So if you already know it, I'm glad for it. If not, you need to review a little bit more and you can just take a look at this. Remember, and here's the comparison between the past and the present perfect. So if we're talking about the past, you're basically talking about something expressed the finished time. Like we lived in Japan from 1995 to 1998. Or the difference is to describe an unfinished time. Like I've worked as a teacher since 2011. Okay. Now, when you talk about dates, you could say 2011 or you could say 2011 as well. Okay. You could also, let's look at the past again. Refer to a definite time, like I saw the Eiffel Tower in 2007, okay? Or you can refer to an indefinite time, like I have seen the Eiffel Tower. Sometime in my life, I have seen the Eiffel Tower. Or indicate series of finished actions, like first, he read the book, and then he watched the video. Or express an experience or result, like she has already watched the movie. She has already watched this movie 3 times. Okay. So those are a couple of ways to use them. Again, my recommendation, I'm hoping that all of you are really good at this, but in case you get very confused with all the verb tenses, I would recommend learning the verb in its base form, learning the past tense, and learning the past participle. If you know those 3, you're gonna be good, okay? This is something that I think I showed you at the beginning. Let me pull it up, okay? I don't want to be too repetitive, but I'm just trying to make sure that, you know, everybody knows about this. And if you don't, just for a quick reminder, okay? Because that could really help you a lot. You say, I feel like I need to study a little bit more. What can I study? What's one thing that I would recommend a lot if you really want to study a little bit more is you can study the regular verbs, but the irregular verbs as well. Because remember, the irregular verbs are the ones that change. So study the base form, study the simple past, and study the past participle because you use these for all the tenses. Okay. By knowing this, you're going to be able to manipulate all tenses. All right. And remember, as you saw in the video, the way you write it changes with each subject. Well, where am I? Oh, now we're looking at the past perfect, okay? Oh, now we're looking at past perfect. So we just saw present perfect and past perfect, okay? So the past perfect, instead of using the have, has, it uses it, but in the past tense. And since it's in the past tense, it's the same for all, like I had, she had, he had, you had, we had, they had. And then we use the other one, visited, okay? I had visited my sister before she went to Mexico. All right, this is something that I'm gonna drop here. I really like a lot of these visuals. Maybe it's me, but I like them because when I have any doubt, I like to have visuals to go back to. And there's so much information in the internet right now that it's really nice. It's awesome. I don't know about you, but a long time ago, like I can't even remember when I was studying psychology, you didn't have the internet, you didn't have all these resources, you didn't have the books, so it was harder. But now everything is in the internet and we should really take advantage of it. Okay. So we know that there are 12 tenses. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So you can see here the past, the present, and the future. And then you can even see the simple, the continuous, the perfect, and the perfect continuous. And I really like this image because look, you can even see like each one and then kind of even compare it, and it has a sentence. I really like these type of images. I like really enjoy them. I hope you do as well. But look, like for this one, if you see the simple past, you can see exactly what it says. It says, describe an action already completed, can be used with or without adverbs of time. Okay, and then you even see an example like, I went to Egypt in 1988. He drank his whiskey almost bottoms up. And then hold on. And then you can see the next one. So you see the simple, the past present, right? And then you see express habits or general truth, like I'm nice. Oh no, I'm sorry. Here you see the simple present. And then you say express habits or general truth, describe a future event as part of a plan or arrangement. And then you have an example like, I'm 19 years old. The plane arrives at 18 hours tomorrow or 6 o'clock. Okay. And then you see the future here, like express an action or circumstance which hasn't taken place yet. And then you can see, I will eat Japanese food tomorrow. So you even get a glimpse of the verb, like just by seeing it, you know, they will use will, right? The only thing they forgot to add is the I'm going to. Okay, but I think they added it. They're going to add it a little bit later. And then you see the continuous, past continuous, and then express an uncompleted action of the past. Like everyone was shouting. Describe persistent habits of the past. Like they were always quarreling. And then you see the present continuous, like describe action going on at the time of speaking. They are swimming in the pool, like we are having class. Okay. And then, okay, and then if you go lower, you can see express temporary action which may not be happening at the time of speaking. Like John's driving his father's car while his own car is in the workshop. Okay. And then I like how you still continue, and then you can see this, the continuous, future continuous, and then express what will be going on at some time in the future. Like you'll be missing the sunshine once you're back in England. Or express planned events like this time next week, I will be sunbathing in Valley. Oh, lucky her. She's going to be on vacation. Valley is like a beautiful beach. That's what I've heard. I've never gone. And then we have the past perfect, which is describe a completed action of the past that happened before another event took place. Like after he had finished work, he went straight home. And then we can make the combination of the perfect present or present perfect. Express past action which is not defined by a time of occurrence. Like Teresa isn't at home. I think she has gone shopping. Okay. And then express an action which started in the past and has continued up until now. She has worked in the bank for 5 years. It's really helpful. perfect future, express an action that will be complete before another event takes place. Like, by the time I finish this course, I will have taken 10 tests. Well, that's not your case. By the time you have finished this course, well, no, you will not have taken anything. When you finish this course, when you finish this course, you need to have 10 homeworks completed. Something like that. All right, and then we've got the past perfect continuous, which is describe an action in the past that began before a certain point in the past and continued up until that time. She had been working at that company for 3 years when it went out of business. Let's finish it up because we're already doing this, okay? And the present continuous. Express an action which started at some point in the past and may not be complete. Like, he has been living in Bangkok since he left school. Future perfect continuous. Describe an action that will have happened for some time and will not be complete yet at a certain point in the future. Like, I will have been watching TV for 3 hours when you arrived. That's a lot of TV. Okay. But, well, this is not part of all the 12 verbs. This is just for you to have for future references. But this is what we've been using, the present perfect. No, the past, which one was it? The past perfect, okay. So let's take a look at this one. Says they went home after they had finished their work. Let's do these exercises together. All right, it says, the second one is, she had just gone out when I called her. So remember, we started looking at the past perfect and we had noticed that you use the have, but in the past tense, which is has, and the verb is in the past as well. So, and we have a couple of examples here, okay? So, 3, my brother ate all the pie before we got back. Simple past is when an action has been finished, okay? Simple past is an action that has already been completed. And the next one was past perfect tense. Past perfect tense is describe a completed action of the past that happened before another event took place, okay? Like, after he had finished work, he went straight home. So, my brother, or it could be, my brother had eaten all the pie before we got back. Okay. He wondered why I had not visited him before. Number 5. She said that she had already seen the pyramid. Number 6. The fire spread to the next building before the firemen had arrived. Number 7. They drank small cups of coffee after they had finished dinner. Number 8. He told me he had caught a young lion. Number 9. His mother worried a lot about him before she had heard that he was safe. His mother had worried a lot about him before she heard that he was safe. And I think it's the other way around. His mother had worried a lot about him before she heard that he was safe. And number 10, he had already learned English before he left for England. But before he arrived in England, he forgot some. Wow, that's a long sentence. And that's a combination of past and past perfect. Okay. All right. So we're gonna continue more. Let's see where we're at. So now we're gonna be looking at, when do we use so, such, so much, and so many, okay? All right. So you can use so much for uncountable nouns, and you can use so many for plural nouns. In both of them, you want to say that it's a lot. and you want to say that it's extra because you add the so. Like for example, let's look at the so first, so it's more easier to understand. Look at the first sentence. It says, "You are so stubborn." Okay, why does she add so instead of just stubborn? You could have said you are stubborn, but if you say you are so stubborn, in Spanish it would be tan. Instead of saying eres terco, you're saying eres tan terco, like you want to emphasize, right? It's a little bit more. Or when you say the second one, why do you drive so slowly? It's like it's too much. It's very slowly. It's not a little bit regular, it's like very slowly. The third one is he drives so slowly that it's dangerous. Okay. And look, when you see the highlighted part, this is where I make a higher intonation. Just listen to me. You are so stubborn. Why do you drive so slowly? He drives so slowly that it's dangerous. Okay. So that's when you use so, it's like a lot. Now, look here, look at so much. I didn't know she had so much money. Now you want to say that it's a lot of money. So you can use so much for an uncountable noun. The next one is, we cook so much food that we have to throw half of it away. Oh my God, that's not good. Don't throw away any food. Okay. So just think about it. In Spanish, it would be like, cocinamos tanta comida, we have to throw half of it away. Okay. But you can say here like so food. You have to say much or many. We cook so much food, we have to throw half of it away. And then if we continue with this one, that's kind of like, we couldn't walk away so many fans. Oh, we couldn't walk among so many fans. Okay. So this one is for like plural nouns. There were so many fans at the concert that we didn't really enjoy it. I like how it's shaded because once you see that it's shaded, you can actually like pronounce it. You can make the intonation of how it should be read. Like, we couldn't walk among so many fans. There were so many fans at the concert that we didn't really enjoy it. Okay, let's moved it again. And then we have such. You could also use such. Like, we had such terrible weather, and that's for uncountable. Okay, tuvimos un clima tan terrible. So it's kind of like tan too. Okay, but you can use so and such. And here's another example. She said such nice things that we were all in tears. Or you can do such a. It was such a party. It was really fun. He's such a liar that no one trusts him. Okay, so you have such for uncountable. You have for countable, you just add the article, which could be a or an, depending of, remember the and, which is the an, you use it for when the next word begins with a vowel. Okay, do not use so plus the adjective plus a noun. You don't say he is so nice person. No, you would say he is such a nice person. He is so nice. Okay, those are a couple of examples. Let's look at more of so versus such. Okay, let's look at this just to make sure that we understand the differences. So is to show extreme situation and is often used in an exclamation like, oh my God, it's so cold. I wish that I had a warmer coat. Okay, or such used to show emphasis and is often used in an exclamation too. So you could say, they're such nice kids. Okay, let's look at a different example, number 2. So many few plus plural countable nouns to show extremes in amount. Like, I never knew you had so many brothers. Okay, and look, when I say so many brothers, that means there's an emphasis, right? Or you can use such for an uncountable noun, like she always uses such fresh food. Number 3, so much or little uncountable noun, like to show extremes in amount, like James, and they forgot the S, James. James earns so much money and he still has trouble paying the rent. Oh, James, he's a bad administrator. He needs an accountant. Okay, next one is such plus an adjective plus a plural noun, like they're such nice kids. Or the fourth example, so plus an adjective plus an adverb, like this shows the result of an extreme situation, like so that is usually optional, like the teacher speaks so softly that it's really difficult to hear her. Or such to show certain results of what you were saying, like he's such an idiot that nobody wants to be his friend. Wow. He does things so wrong that nobody wants to work with him. Wow. All right, number 5. You can use it to describe how much or how often someone does an action, like so plus much, little, often, or regularly. Like Errol drinks so much, it's not good for his health. Or use such can mean this type of, like I have never seen such a film before. It means like this type of film. Okay. All right, let's go to the exercises here. Let's think about which ones we're going to be using, okay? And if you're coming in, I'm here, okay? So join me. All right. We have in parentheses, like what we can use. So let's look at number 1. The number 1 would be, I've been to Paris so many or so much time. This is countable. So times is countable. You would use many. Let's go back. Many for plural, much for uncountable. Okay? If you can count the times 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, it's countable. So you would say, I've been to Paris so many times. Number 2, he got really drunk at the party last night and behaved like such an idiot. Okay? Like such an idiot. Let me take you back to the rule so that you can make the connection. To show emphasis and is often used in an exclamation. Yeah, but we also need to show, here you go, to show certain results of what you're saying, but you're also adding the article. You're talking about a person and, okay, such an idiot. And because idiot starts with a vowel. Okay, let's look at number 3. They used to have so much fun together. Now all they do is argue. So fun is uncountable. If it's uncountable, we use much. Number 4, the bar was really packed last night. There were so many people there. People are countable. You can say there's 5 people, there's 10, there's 20, there's 100. So many people. There was so many people. Number 5, the guitar player was so good. Okay, you're not talking like about a person, like a number 4, where you say such an idiot, like referring to a person, but here you're just saying it's good. So I wouldn't use such a good. You would say the guitar player was so good. That's number 5. Okay. Number 6 is so many students have a problem with this exercise. Students is countable. We use many. So many students. Okay. And then number 7, I can't believe you lived there for so many years. Okay. Years you can count, countable. And number 8, that is such a good idea. Okay. Such a good idea. So those are a couple of exercises. We're going to be moving on, continuing to the next unit. Okay. We're almost there. So let's take a look at this. This is called reported speech. And I remember that I talked to one of you and you told me that your last unit in your English class was reported speech. Okay, and reported speech is a speech which tells you what someone said, but does not use the person's actual words. Okay, and it in Spanish would be, what would it be? reported speech. Let me see. Reported speech is translate reported speech in Spanish. What is reported speech in Spanish? It says it's called estilo indirecto, para reportar. Okay? There's estilo directo and estilo indirecto. That's what it says. It means. So basically, what you're saying, what somebody else said. No dices lo que tú dijiste. What somebody else said. But does not use the person's actual words. For example, they said you didn't like it. I asked her what her plans were, and citizens complain about the smoke. Okay? So let's look at this, at the indirect speech, and then kind of let's look at also examples of reported speech, okay? And then let's do a couple of exercises, like it says, I'm exhausted. Exhausted, if you don't remember what it means, exhausted is like very tired, ultra cansado, exhausto. So it would be like, he said that he was exhausted. Él dijo que estaba cansado. That's like reported speech. I'm saying what somebody else said. Okay? So you might even, I mean, you're going to be using it a lot. Somebody might ask you in class, what did Dr. Vanessa said? And then you would say, oh, she said that you had to do this homework. Okay, so that's like a reported speech. Let's look at the next one, okay? I'm studying. She told me that she was studying, okay? She told me that she was studying. And then I change it in the past simple. Okay, so please notice that, because I'm reporting what he said before, not what he is saying, reporting what he said. So let's look at the next one. It says, I loved the concert. He told me that he had loved the concert. Okay. I have never been to Rome. She said that she had never been to Rome. Okay. So notice, present simple goes to past simple. Present continuous to past continuous. Past simple to past perfect. Present perfect to past perfect, okay? And will to would, like, I will help you. He said that he would help me, okay? You must pay attention. She told me that I had to pay attention. So I guess what would be a little bit more tricky here would be to learn how you say it in reported speech. Like, would you listen? How would you say it in reported speech? How it changes from this to this. That's what you need to know, okay? So let's try a couple of examples. Let's do them together. All right. So it says, he said that Jim living or lives in New York. He said that Jim lived in New York. I would say lives, because I'm thinking that he said he still lives. Oh no, he said that Jim lived in New York. I think that's the present to the past. He said that he lived, okay? He said that Jim lived in New York. He said that Alice was sleeping, okay? He said that Carl, I hope you can see this. Let me make it bigger. He said that Carl has gone to the movies, had went to the movies, had gone to the movies. He said that Will had gone to the movie. Number 4, he said that Don had never been to Mexico. It's a little bit tricky because you kind of have to see which ones they are, right? Like in this list, so let's just go back to the list. He said that they we're going to the park later. Okay. He said that Ralph worked in the bank or works in the bank. Let me see. And do we have the answers here for when you finish them? Because you might want to do these at home. So when you're at home, make sure that you have the answers. Let me open this. Okay. Now there the exercises are right over here. Okay. Where were we? Works in a bank. He asked if he is home. He asked if Fred are home. No, we're home. He asked if Fred is home. I would even say he asked if Fred was home because it's in the verb and I think it's in the past. Yeah, if Fred was home. He asked where the grocery store was. He asked what Harry was doing. He said that Jack was leaving tomorrow. Okay. So those are a couple of exercises that you can do just to practice reported speech. And we will also be having an activity about reported speech. Okay. Let's take a look at our example right now. Let me open our example so we can see if there's any. No, I think I'll open it towards the end. Okay, we'll finish this up and then I'll open up a couple of reading and videos that I have so you know what to do for your sentence. Okay. Now, question words in English. I'm sure you know this too. I'm hoping you know this. So these are a couple of WH questions, WH words that it's important that you know, like who, where, when, why, what, how, which, how many, and how often. WH and HOW, okay? So, quick reminder, who is when you want to ask about a person, like who's that woman? Where is asking in or at what place or position, like where do you live? Where are my boots? When is asking about time, occasion, or moment, like when can I see you? When did you last see him? Okay. We also have why, like asking for a reason, like an explanation. Why were you late? Why was he late? Okay. Why are you working? Why are you doing what you do? What? Asking for a specific thing, object, like what's the matter? What time is it? How? Asking for a way, manner, like a form, like how does it work? How do you go to school? Which? Asking about choice, like which is better exercise? Here I would add a better. Which is a better exercise? Swimming or tennis? If I see something, I can immediately like know if it's right or wrong. Here I would add which is a better exercise. And let's do the next one. It says, which of the applicants has got the job? Okay. Or how many, like asking about quantity, used with countable nouns, like how many people were there? How many clothes did you buy? How many apples did you get? And how often, asking about frequency, like how often do you go swimming? How often do you study? How often do you read in English? You know, frequency. So there you go, the WH questions, you have them there. And then this is how you can use them, like who could be like for a person, like who's that man? That's Peter. Where it could be for a place like, oh, where do you live? You could say, oh, I live in, you could say in London or in Saltillo or in Torreon, or you could say, I live in Torreon, I live in Saltillo. Time. When did he arrive? Well, he arrived in the afternoon. He arrived in the morning. He arrived yesterday. Okay. Why? Like a reason. Why did you leave? Because I was tired. Why did you watch that movie? Oh, because I like it. Because I was interested in it. How? How did you go? By car. Okay. How did you go? By plane. All right. What? What are you doing? Nothing. Or I'm studying. Or I'm taking a class. I'm listening to my teacher. Okay. Which car is better? Which one? Oh, the red car or the red one. Okay. Like whose? The possession. Like whose book is that? Oh, that's mine. Or it's mine. Something like that. What time? What time did he call? At 7. What kind? What kind of car is it? It's a hybrid car. I don't think there's that many hybrid cars in Mexico, but I've seen a lot of hybrid cars in different places. I've seen a lot of hybrid cars in California. All right. How many? How many beds are there? Right here, okay. 3. 3. Or like how much? Like how much tea is there? Oh, there's a lot of tea. So come join me and drink a cup of tea. How long? How long did you stay? Oh, I stayed 2 weeks. Or you could just say 2 weeks. I mean, you could give a brief response, or you could say the whole sentence. How often do you go? Every day. I go every day to work. Something like that. How far is the town? 1 mile away. The town is 1 mile away. How old is your sister? She's 27. Okay. These are a couple of questions. I just went through them. Refresh. Let's do a couple of these and then I'll leave them for you. Let's look at the number. The first one, it says, why are you wearing a coat? Because it's cold. And then, obviously, if you have the response, it's much easier. Take a look at the response and then you will know what the question begins with. Like on Saturday, I think it's asking what day. So you can say, what day is your party on Saturday? Or when is your party on Saturday? And then I see like money. How much money have you got? Okay. And then it's like a place because it's saying it's near the station. Number 4, it's near the station. So I guess the question would be, where is your school? It's near the station. Okay. Number 5, 2 brothers. So I'm thinking they're asking like how many brothers have you got? They're counting them. Not many. You can also say how many books have you got? Not many. Number 7, it's like a person. They're telling you it's a person. So I guess you want to know who that person is. Like, who is he? Oh, he's Mr. Smith. Number 8. So because it's interesting, it sounds like an explanation. It sounds like you're asking, why are you reading that book? Oh, because it's interesting. Okay. So just go back to this one. Why? Like a reason. Number 9. What is the weather like? It's snowing. Okay. Number 10, it's Kurt. It's like it's a possession. Like, whose is it? Whose coat is this? Oh, it's Kurt's. 11, he comes from Brazil. You might ask, where does he come from? Where does he come from? Oh, he comes from Brazil. Number 12. When is your birthday? In January. This one, 7:30 p.m. That means that they're asking about time. Like, what time is it? 7:30 p.m. Number 14, because I'm late. Why are you running? It seems like you're asking like why, like a reason. Oh, because I'm late. That's why she's running. Number 15, you get like 1 kilo. So I'm thinking you're thinking about how much do you want? Oh, how much sugar is there? 1 kilo. 1 kilo, like in Spanish would be kilo, and in English would be kilogram or 1 kilo. So you just have to make the O sound like kilo, and in Spanish it's kilo, and then kilo or kilogram. Number 16, in the kitchen. It's like telling you where he is. Where is he? In the kitchen. Number 17, it's like an amount. I think you want to ask how many. How many girls are there? 12. Okay. And then number 18, you're asking, let's see what the question is. Number 18, they're watching TV. So I'm thinking you want to ask, what are they doing? Well, they're watching TV. That's what they're doing. We already saw the wish yesterday. And remember, wish is to express that we regret something or we would like something to be different than the way it is. And wish you can use with all the different tenses. And then here is example of each tense, and then you will find sentences about them. Yeah, okay, like if you want a situation in the present to be different, like this is an example. Oh, I wish I ate more veggies. Veggies is an abbreviation, okay, for vegetables. It's very common to say that, like in the United States, you say veggies. So that's something that you will be that we already saw, and I just added it again. Okay. Because I'm going to be looking at it a little bit more and then doing a couple of exercises. Okay. So just going back, I'll mention it again. You could also use wish when you want to be doing a different activity in the present or future, like, oh, I wish it weren't raining now. You could use wish when we want to be able to change a situation in the past, like, I wish I hadn't done it. Or you could use wish when you want something to happen, like, we want someone to start doing something. We want someone to stop doing something which annoys us, like, I wish the lesson would end. I wish you would have listened to me or you'd listen to me. I wish you wouldn't borrow my clothes. And then we can use wish plus to infinitive, like we want. We can also use wish to express want in a formal situation, like, I wish to make a complaint and would like to see the manager. Okay? So this is a couple of uses. Again, more uses. I wish I were rich, but I'm not. If only I could fly. Okay? Or I wish we could go to the beach this weekend. If only I could be master of the subject. Okay? I wish we could go to the beach this weekend. If only I could be master of the subject. Okay, so here are a couple more examples. Let's go to the exercise of wish. So taking a look at some exercises. Let's go back here. I guess what you need to do here is also look at the verbs, like speak. Or you could say, I wish I spoke Chinese. I wish you turned off the lights. I can't sleep. Betty wishes she had an iPhone. This is a great trip. We wish you were here. It's raining and Molly's getting wet. She wishes she brought an umbrella with her. These shoes are really uncomfortable. If only I could. If only I hadn't bought them. So that's like, she wishes she hadn't done that. She wishes she could fly, like something for the future. It was a great trip. Next time, I wish we would go all together. I'm so tired. I wish I had not gone to the party yesterday. Oh, sometimes that happens to all of us, okay? So a couple of examples with wish. And then I added this information just for you, but you know, it's in the program, and then prepositions and some visuals so you remember how it looks like of all the prepositions that you have, like in, on, under, behind, in front of, between, up and down, through, into, beside, and toward, and out of, okay? And then a couple of prepositions past, across, into, and out of. Right now, I'm going to jump. Excuse me. I'm going to jump into the next activity. Oh my. Excuse me. Let me open up the link that I want to show you, which is very related to what you will be doing for your work. Okay. I'm going to start presenting and then start presenting again. Make sure, I prefer to double check, but I want to make sure that you can actually listen to this. Because if you don't listen to it, it's not going to be very helpful, right? What happened? Why didn't it open up? Oh my God, don't tell me something's going on with my internet. Okay, so let's watch the video. I'm going to be watching 2 videos because that's something that you will be doing. So now that we have seen like the whole program, these are like a couple of activities related to the last things that we have been seeing. And these would be like your last homework, the last assignments that you have. Okay.
It seems like this time of year, everybody has a lot of questions for accounting. It seems like this time.
So that all of you are studying to be. Let me turn this off, open this. Okay, we know that your main program is accounting, right? Contador. So we're really going to bring it back home. When I say bring it back home, it's traerlo a casa, but basically it means like, since this is something that relates to us, we're going to be doing it for us. But basically, I'm going to be showing this video because you will be talking about you're going to be talking about your dreams, like this person in this video, okay?
Everybody has a lot of questions for accountants. But I had one question. I don't think they were being asked very much.
I'm David.
I'm PK.
I'm Jordan.
My name is Karen, and I'm an accountant.
Accountant. Growing up, I wanted to.
So by now you must all know that accountant is contador or contadora. There's really no difference in gender. We don't have like contador y contadora. It's just accountant, like general for all.
To be in the NFL.
I wanted to be a teacher.
I wanted to build robots.
I wanted to be a coffee taster.
I don't think any accountant actually chooses to be an accountant. It's kind of destiny.
Most people assume that accountants are dull and boring, but we live pretty sweet and exciting lives.
So they're kind of talking about themselves and what motivates them. I just want to make sure that there's a couple of things that you understand. The rest seems easy. But when you say most people assume means asumir. Most people assume that accountants are dull and boring. Dice mucha gente piensa que los contadores son como aburridos. Dull and boring is kind of like the same thing.
People assume that accountants are dull and boring, but
when you say we live pretty sweet and exciting lives, okay? That's like an expression. Tienen vidas como dulces y emocionantes. Okay? That's his perspective, his opinion. There's different types of perspectives, so wait till you hear the whole thing.
we live pretty sweet and exciting lives outside the office and in the office.
I do pay rates. I do time cards. I do algebra.
Numbers.
I don't think you realize how dope accountants are.
Oh, problem solved. Oh, hard math. Boom.
What's the best part about being an accountant? everything.
Every business and organization needs an accountant.
If you really actually think what an accountant does, they pay for people's lives.
I dominate the numbers all day.
Tax season is when I realized that us as accountants, we're on the inside and everyone else, they're on the outside.
Tax season is chaotic.
It is a time where I get to kind of flex my numerical muscles and kind of show people that I'm not all talk.
Tax season is basically my Super Bowl. It's what I was born for. It's what I take every breath of every day for. It's the championship.
Tax season is the Thunderdome, and that's where I belong.
I'm proud to be an accountant. I mean, it's like this upper echelon of number crunchers. You know, it's this elite brotherhood and sisterhood.
You know, let me guess, you want to move to Los Angeles to become an accountant. Okay, well, guess what? Don't. Because, yeah, I'm one of the very lucky few that have managed to make it. But guess what? A lot of people end up on a slow train back to, like, city town.
Accounting is my dream.
I'm sorry, I have to go.
Right. So it's just different perspectives. It might not represent what you think or what you feel. Let me go back to the settings. Let me slow down the playback speed. All right.
Question. I don't think
That's like too slow. Too slow. Let's just slow it down like a little bit. Let's see.
they were being asked very much.
Maybe that could help. If you're ever watching a video and then you're having trouble understanding, well, of course, you can slow it down. Playback speed. This is like the normal.
I'm David.
I'm Pete.
So normal, they might speak very fast. So just lower the speed and then make sure that you have subtitles. Sometimes in subtitles, they have like English, Spanish, French. This one is only English, okay? But you can put the subtitles. That's something I recommend. And then you can associate, you can read and listen to what they're saying, okay? So you hear it right here. PK is a name.
Okay.
I'm Jordan.
My name is.
You know that everybody's introducing themselves and they're saying that they're accountants. We're going to watch it a second time so that I can stop and then like tell you whatever I think.
It's Karen, and I'm an accountant.
An accountant.
An accountant.
Accountant.
Growing up,
So this is a word that I recommend you learn because you are accountants. Okay, so accountant.
I wanted to be in the NFL.
I wanted to be a teacher.
So I don't know if that happened to you. Maybe many years ago, you did not think about becoming an accountant. Muchos años quizás no pensaste en ser contadora. And they didn't. One said, I want to be a teacher. NFL is I think that's the football. You know, and they wanted to make robots. They wanted to do different things.
I wanted to build robots.
I wanted to be a coffee taster.
Imagine trying different coffee. That's wonderful.
I don't think any accountant actually chooses to be an accountant. It's kind of destiny.
So they're saying it's destiny. Destiny is destino. That you really didn't choose, but it was just meant to be. Realmente no escogieron la carrera, pero como que era su destino.
Most people assume that accountants are dull and boring, but we live pretty sweet and exciting lives.
I think he's saying because many people, since you're dealing with maybe a lot of numbers, and that's what people might think, it's not exciting. But he's saying, no, it's contrary. It's pretty exciting dealing with the numbers, and I agree. Okay. Dice que no, que viven vidas muy emocionantes.
Outside the office
Outside, fuera y adentro.
and in the office.
I do pay rates. I do time cards.
Pay rate. What's a pay rate? Let's hear the terminology, okay? Just want to make sure that you understand that. Okay. Even for me, it's a little bit new because that's like an accounting term, and I don't use it often. But pay rate is like nómina or tarifas de pago, okay? He does pay rates, he does algebra, he does time cards. I'm thinking the time cards are like people who come in early or late, like kind of check like asistencia, okay?
I do time cards. All right, I do algebra.
Numbers.
I don't think you realize how dope accountants are.
She doesn't doesn't have a lot of good stuff to say because dope could be like not smart, but not true. I think accountants must be very smart to work with all that they work.
Oh, problem solved.
Problem solving, more than likely, you problem solve. O sea, resuelven problemas like every day.
Oh, hard math.
Probably hard math too. A lot of numbers.
Boom.
What's the best
Done. When you say boom, it's like done. Boom. Got it.
part about being an accountant? Everything.
I think he really likes this job. I like him. I like him because I think that you need to like what you do.
Every business and organization needs an accountant.
If you really
And what she's saying is everybody needs, todos necesitan an accountant, un contador, which is totally true.
actually think what an accountant does, they pay for people's lives.
No.
Okay, so he's saying that accountants are very important, son muy importantes. They pay for people's lives, pagan para vivir. Okay?
I dominate the numbers all
Dominate is dominar. So domina los números all day.
day.
Tax season is when I realized that us as accountants, we're on the inside and everyone else, they're on the outside.
So I think he's saying that he's kind of special. Es especial because when there's tax season, cuando tienen que hacer impuestos, he's on the inside, está adentro, and the rest are on the outside. O sea, como que no tenemos idea. We have no idea of really how to do this.
Tax season is chaotic.
Chaotic. Remember, we saw like adjectives, like negative adjectives in Spanish. That's why I tell you, read it. Because if you read it, you might even relate it, associate it. Chaotic in Spanish is caótico.
It is a time where I get to kind of flex my numerical muscles and kind of show.
Okay, so here he's saying that when it's tax season, en tiempo de impuestos, and now he's using words a little bit differently. He's not only saying basic words, but he wants to say like symbolic words, you know, like make it look different, like because he's saying that he has numerical muscles, que tienen músculos numéricos, which is kind of funny. And when you see kind of, it means it's kind, K-I-N-D, of. But sometimes we say it like really fast, and you kind of hear like kind of, but it's kind of. Show people
People that I'm not all talk.
Tax season.
And then he says que no es puro hablar. He knows how to do that, to do things, which I'm sure he does.
Is basically my Super Bowl.
Okay, so he's saying that when they do taxes, cuando hacen impuestos, like a Super Bowl, like super event, you know, like yeah, it's like a super event of the year.
It's what I was born for.
Es para lo que nació.
It's what I take every breath of every day.
Okay, he's very he likes. I like the way he represents it. It's just kind of interesting, and some things are very funny. But he says it's what I take every breath of every day for. O sea, por lo que respira. Just for tax season, the most exciting season of
It's
the year.
the championship.
Tax season is the Thunderdome, and that's where I belong.
I'm proud to be an
So they're all like using expressions, you know, to make it to reflect how they feel, like the Thunderdome, like the championship.
accountant. I mean, it's like this upper echelon of number crunchers. You know, it's this elite brotherhood.
It's like an elite group, como un grupo élite.
And sisterhood.
You know, let me guess. You want to move to Los Angeles to become an accountant. Okay, well, guess what?
He like doesn't want any competition. Dice, no se vengan a Los Ángeles. It's mine. Okay, he doesn't want any competition. He wants to do it all.
Don't. Because, yeah, I'm one of the very lucky few that have managed to make it. But guess what? A lot of people end up on a slow train back to like city town.
He's saying that not everybody, you know, continues with the career in accounting. Dice que no todos, o sea, algunos se como que quedan atrás. That just a couple of people like become accountants, which I don't think it's true. There's a lot of people who can actually make it.
Accounting is my dream.
I'm sorry, I have to go.
Okay. So they have different perspectives, but I like how they represent positive, especially the positive perspectives of this career. I think he got upset because he doesn't want any competition. He was being funny in that way. So now my question is, you might be saying, okay, well, why are we looking at this, Dr. Vanessa? Why? All right, because guess what? The first part of your homework in homework 9 is you're going to write about why you like accounting and why it is important to you in the community. Okay? I have it in Spanish. Oh, no, I don't. Okay. No, I don't. All right, let me type it up so you know. In Spanish. My computer doesn't have accents, so I'm just gonna have to enter them. Mentions. Okay. So there you go. I have it in English and I have it in Spanish, okay? So that's what you're going to be doing first. You're going to be talking about your career. This is what you're doing. And I hope that you can use the English for your career, okay? Now, after that, what are you going to do after that? That's one part. Let me show you the next part. I think I already have it open. Let me go back to my link, okay? The link is there. So I'm thinking that many of you are already working as accountants. And if you're not, you can think about what you're going to do because, I mean, you're already in your 9th semester. You should know what you could do, right? So let's hear her.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to go over some of my accounting duties. And don't get me wrong, this is just a very quick list I put together. It's probably not representative.
Okay, hold on. Let me put the subtitles so you can hear her. Let me lower her, put her speed down so when you change the speed, they speak a little slower, okay? So you want to hear them slow, you want to see what they mean.
Over back to my channel.
My accounting duties, o mis labores como contadora.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to go over some of my accounting duties. And don't get me wrong, this is just a very quick list I put together. It's probably not representative of about half the stuff that I do, but I was just trying to come up with a list of things quickly and just give you an idea of kind of what I do and what an accountant does.
So this one, she put a list. So she's an accountant, and then she put a list of what she would do. And this would be very important because I'm thinking that in the future you want to work as an accountant. En un futuro quieres trabajar como una contadora. So if you ever have to talk in English about what you do or you can do, you need to know this, right? Si algún día quieres platicar con alguien o conseguir un trabajo, and the interview is in English, and then you have to tell them what you can do or what you are doing. This is one way to think about what you can do and how you would kind of tell, you would kind of share with somebody so that they can see that your job is important, Okay. So what she has is a list, and then she says she has a list of what she's doing, okay? So she's gonna talk about that list.
So to start off with, one of the things that I do is I work with foreign currency. Every month, at the beginning of the month, I update the currency. So I put in what the currency rate is. And then
now we saw a little bit the term related to money and expressions. But if there's like a term that you need to know and that, who wasn't here, you can look for it. Like what she's saying is she worked with foreign currency, which is moneda extranjera. That's one of her jobs, okay? Maybe that's something that you want to do or that you're doing. And then she says, update currencies with new rates at the beginning of the month, okay? Actualizar las monedas con los nuevos like porcentajes o los nuevos cambios al principio del mes, okay? So you can use your terminology. In case we didn't review your terminology, I recommend that you look it up in the internet. That shouldn't stop you. You should still be able to get a lot of information, a lot of words. You can write it in Spanish. Think of what you want to do in Spanish and then, look for it in English.
And at the end of the month, I actually reconcile the currencies from our trial balance to to a report that has kind of the open balances that we have. But this is a big process. It takes a while to do, and it's very complicated. So that is one thing that in school I didn't really work a ton with foreign currency, but that's something that my employer taught me over time. So I wanted to kind of bring this up because you won't learn this in school, most likely, but a lot of things in accounting is you learn something in school and then your employer either elaborates on that or you just learn something completely different and you follow the way your employer does it. So that's kind of why I brought that up. I also do a lot with our pension. At my company, we have a pension, and so every month I do a pension reconciliation, and I make sure that all of the reports are distributed to all of the parties that need to have the reports.
So maybe this could be a good video just to hear like different terminologies like pension reconciliation, reconciliación de pensiones, distribution of reports, distribución de reportes. So, she's using terminology that she uses to do her work, right? Or at her job. So this is a good thing to hear. And then it doesn't have to be yours, doesn't have to be the same. Yours can be different. It all depends on what you would like to do, or maybe where you're at right now, or maybe where you're at, you're not completely in accounting, but you're doing stuff like for that an accountant would do. So you could talk about that, okay? This is like for when you're in the future, when you want to get a job, a different job, or you want to show off what you're doing, quieres conseguir otro trabajo, or you want to show off, quieres como presumir what you're doing, so that your boss can see it and he values it and he pays you well, para que tu jefe te vea, te lo valore y te pague bien, you gotta know it. And then if you know it in English, better.
I also attend pension asset meetings and the corresponding valuation of liability meetings. Those are every quarter and are very interesting because you learn a lot about the market as well as pension topics. I also attend our 401k management meeting, so I kind of see the background behind a 401k and see a lot about like how they choose different.
I'm gonna add her in the presentation, but she's like an example. It doesn't mean you have to follow her. No significa que la tienes que seguir, okay? But this is an example, and I'm adding this. What will you be doing, okay? So part 1 of homework 9 is write about why you like accounting and why it is important to you and the community, okay? And then part 2, this is part 2, which is Okay, so I just need to add the accent. My computer doesn't have an automatic accent, so I just have to add it. The good thing is, since I do this all the time, I know the accents pretty well. Most of the accents, I think I'm pretty good with it. No me acerca como de lo que haces o harías como contador todos los días. Okay. All right, and so there's the next one. That's like the second part. So you're gonna write, and then how long does it have to be? How long? This should be at least 1 page long. Okay. So this is like, I'm adding the part in Spanish. So in case you also want to look at it in Spanish, the green part is the English that you need to know. So let me add the accents because frankly, I have to add them manually. My computer is supposed to be in English, so, well, it's okay. I guess I just practice, right? Even the ñ, I don't have the ñ. I have to insert everything. Not too practical, but it is what it is, okay? That's how much you have to write, okay? So you don't write you can write more than a page is fine. You can write that, okay? So now that you have it, this is what you're gonna be doing. That's homework 9, part 1. Let's forget part 1, and then you can do part 2. Okay. So now what you will be doing is, once you have everything written, you will be recording yourself in Flipgrid, okay? So you have everything, and now what you will be doing is recording yourself in Flipgrid. Like, let me add this into it. Okay. So I wrote it in Spanish. Yeah, because I want to copy. All right. So now you have it there. That's what you will be doing. That's going to be, then with that, you will finish all projects, okay? I'll fix this right now because I'm going to take a long time just fixing this right now. So I'll fix the accents and everything, but basically this is what you will be doing, okay? And that's how you will finish. By when you finish my course, you will have submitted or turned in 10 assignments. Another recommendation that I have is when you oh no, I think I don't have it anymore. Okay, I'll find it. I'll find it quickly before we finish, and then I will show it to you. Hold on. Let's see if I can actually explain. Oh, I can't find it, but I will quickly find it, okay? Okay, I think I'm gonna find it. So you might say, oh, I don't talk too well. I have trouble. That's what I don't like about when I have to do oral presentations. That's part of my problem. So there's 2 things that I would recommend you, okay? One thing is that you can actually like Like if you have your written piece, what you could do is you can actually like put it, this is what I do. I mean, there might be better ways to do it, but you could also put it like in Google Translate and then put there's the English part. It's gonna translate into the Spanish. But let me see. Where's the audio? There's a part where we have the audio. Okay, and then you can listen to it. Look.
Part 1. Write about why you like accounting and why it is important to you and the community.
Yeah, not too good, right? She doesn't speak really good. But if you ever don't know how to say a word, you could use this one, okay? Because there's other apps, I can share them to you. I'll look for them, but there's apps that will help you. But what you could do is like this one, you find the word, it's Spanish to English, or you could say English to Spanish, but it tells you how you say it, like
Visual.
wait, that's in Spanish. So let's look, there's let
V.
me see. There's a visual, okay. And then you even have like, you can say it in two different ways. You can say it like American English or British English. Let's just wait for this to work.
Visual.
So it helps you with the words, like what you don't know, you can say visual. See, it helps you with the pronunciation. And then what's really nice about this is that you can actually see. What's nice about this, let me open up my camera.
Visual.
I don't know if you can see me right now. I opened up my camera, but I can't even see myself. So you could like see the way his mouth moves, the way he pronounces, which is also really good. O sea, puedes ver la boca y cómo la mueve, which I like it. This is why I like it. So let's look for a word we just like we're talking about, and then it says in English and then it's in Spanish and then
Accountant.
okay. So then you can say and even has like how you can say it in Spanish. Accountant. See? We'll say it in Spanish. Accountant. So I think this is better than the Google Translate. The Google Translate was not too good. I mean, I guess if you put one word, it works better.
Accountant.
Hold on.
Accountant.
Accountant. But look, he is like slower, and he like you can see how he moves his lips.
Accountant. Accountant.
He even says it's slow mode so that you can like look for anything. Like you can even say, okay, miss, I don't even know how to say Nomina is like payroll. I want to say that I do payroll or I want to do payroll. Okay. Yeah.
Payroll.
Okay. If your computer is slow like mine, wait a little bit, and then he will continue. And then if you look at it in Spanish here, you could say payroll. You even know payroll, right? So that's something that
Pay.
So this is a very nice link that you can use like whenever you want to see how something is pronounced. Okay.
Roll.
I'll add it like right here. Okay, there you go. So that's the link and that's it. With that, we will be finished with our course. Okay, so you already have your homework. I just need to add the links in Moodle and add the presentation. I will do that later on, but we're good. We're good to go. That's another expression that you could say. We are good to go. That means that we're ready. Okay. Boom, we're ready. All right. So everybody, I'll be in touch like through WhatsApp if you need me for anything. Okay. I usually answer. Just sometimes I take a little longer, sometimes a little less, but I'm always answering. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being my students, and I hope you enjoy this. All right. Let me know if you need anything. My camera is not working. I don't even know why. Okay. Oh, there we go. Thank you, everybody. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my students. Please let me know if you need anything. All right. Bye-bye.